Do a barrel roll.
Welcome to the Now. I'm Ashley.
I'm John.
Yesterday, closing in on 2 years after No Man's Sky's initial release, developer Hello Games dropped their big update that added actual full multiplayer to the game, in addition to a bunch of tweaks like a significant graphics overhaul, third-person view, bunch of other stuff too.
Yeah, but apparently, not everyone gets the multiplayer. So players who purchase the game via the DRM free storefront GOG.com reported that all the single-player updates are there, but the universe is still a big, lonely place for them because multiplayer is not included.
That's sad.
That's weird.
So while the game's population on Steam's skyrocketing and went from 1,000 or so average concurrent players that it had been seeing in the last month or so to more than 50,000 today, and Xbox players finally got to dip their toes in, you do have a lot of players left wondering, like, hey man, what gives?
Okay, so the omission was announced basically as the update dropped. It's kind of like getting a date, and the date as you're about to show up to is like, but I'm not going to be there. Which also, this came later in the day for GOG players. An update on the storefront reads, the multiplayer component will not be ready at launch. We expect it to be released later this year as full multiplayer parity remains in the pipeline.
All right, so now we've got a bunch of players scratching their heads. It doesn't seem like it should be an insurmountable hurdle on the surface, at least, given that they've already got multiplayer running on PC with other storefronts like Steam, but Hello Games says it is a technical issue. The studio explained, for a small independent studio, developing the feature across multiple platforms is a hugely ambitious and technical challenge, which resulted in this delayed release. Hello Games is, however, joining forces with GOG.com to introduce full multiplayer via the GOG Galaxy platform.
So, it's still in the works. We're sorry.
On the bright side, though, even though Hello Games says they are working to get the feature into the GOG build of the game, they don't exactly have a timeline. The GOG team understands why that might not be enough, why people don't necessarily want to wait. As a result, they are actually offering refunds to any players who bought the game, even outside their traditional 30-day refund window.
Yeah, GOG issued a statement on their website saying, although Hello Games chose not to offer refunds over missing game content to our users and instead promised to bring the missing multiplayer content later this year, we understand that some of you might not be willing to wait. For this reason, entirely at GOG's own cost, we're offering an extended refund policy for all owners of No Man's Sky.
The offer is not going to stay open forever, though, so if you are an affected GOG player, you want to get your dollars back, maybe spend them on a different platform where you can have that multiplayer, you do need to request a refund via their customer service by, here's the deadline, July 29th at 10 p.m. UTC. That translates in US times to 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. That's the cutoff. But hey, you got plenty of time until then, and we will post a link to the customer service form in the description in case you need it.
This was a surprise for a lot of gamers, but it actually isn't the first hint we've had that Hello Games has been having some difficulty with the multiplayer via GOG. The Atlas Rises update came out last October, and similarly, the GOG version of the game had all the single-player content included.
There was a lot of it.
Yeah, new race, 30 hours of story-based content, more lore, more complex systems with wealth and conflict and economies and new exotic planet types and a revamp of planetary biomes, crashed freighters, terrain manipulation tools, a new mission system, new trade goods, gas harvesters, improved analysis visors, interface tweaks, graphical enhancements, portals for revisiting previous worlds, better space combat, low flight and planet atmospheres, new ships.
Breathe.
And a cherry on top.
So that's all good stuff, and a lot of good stuff too, but the Atlas Rises update was also the first step towards proper multiplayer. It introduced a primitive version in which players could see and communicate with each other, and sure, players were floating orbs, we didn't have bodies just yet, but it was something. And between that and the proximity voice chat, that was an effective start.
Unless you bought the game via GOG. Then that feature was missing.
It was. Canary in the coal mine. We just didn't realize it at the time.
There could be a lot of reasons for this. The lack of DRM is a selling point for a lot of consumers with GOG, but for online games can introduce plenty of complications.
Well, you know, if, for example, it could be harder to ensure that pirated copies aren't accessing the service, the online service. Or
modified or hacked versions of the games to keep the trolls out.
Yeah, I mean, Steam's got a lot of the tool sets already built in. It's one of the trade-offs of the DRM. They've got their VAC system working over time, banning tens of thousands of accounts every month already, and there are these safeties in place with the system.
Neither Hello Games or GOG have elaborated on the exact reasons the feature is missing, though, and the later this year timeline is still pretty vague, so it could be a while before we hear anything.
Yeah, although it does seem like on the surface you go PC, it seems like it should be pretty easy.
Yeah.
But they are going via different systems and leaning on the different distributors, different tool sets. So I get it. Multiplayer on GOG won't be the only thing that the team is working on, though. Ahead of the new update, developer Sean Murray made a post on the Hello Games website that they'll be making more additions as well. The update says, a little while after the release of No Man's Sky Next, Hello Games has planned its first season of weekly content and community events. This will be free for all players with no microtransactions.
Hopefully, the GOG players will be able to join in sooner rather than later.
Sooner, please.
Yeah, but if you're worried about it more than about the DRM, we'd say take the refund offer and pick it up elsewhere.
Also, shout out to GOG for continuing to be a strong pro-consumer platform. It's not often you see a company or platform offering to lose money to do you a solid, and I think that's really cool of them.
Yeah. So, what do you think of the No Man's Sky Next update so far? Has it become the game you wanted to be? If you found a cool planet you want to share, post up the portal coordinates in the comments.
I will say, so I was playing it last night. I know you were playing it last night.
Playing it last night and this morning.
Bernie saw that we were both online. He got jealous. He thought we were playing together.
Oh, do you want to play together?
Well, I do want to play
Okay,
together.
we'll play together.
Let's do it.
No Bernie.
Anyway, we'll be talking about this game a lot more in depth in our experiences and everything. This week's episode of Glitch Please. So make sure that you like this video and make sure you're subscribed to our channel if you want to see that as soon as it goes up on Saturday. It should be a lot of fun.
I found a planet just full of mushrooms.
What?
Like anthropomorphized mushrooms just bouncing around everywhere.
I keep finding just toxic poison planets.
Yeah, those are fun. At launch, we expect it to be released later this year as full multiplayer parody.
Yeah.
That broke me.